everyone, we're back again. We're in the same clothes as last week's episode.
Because we're feeding the girl. The girls are getting fed.
Girls are eating good this Christmas.
The festive, between my Vlogmas,
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
God,
a bit of a cross.
I'm laughing every time I'm brought up. I'm like, that's so funny. People get like that other side of me. And you're like, this would be cute for Neve to wear for a pod, and I'm like, that would be my worst nightmare.
Oh.
Could you imagine the two of us glued to each other? I'd be like, get me out of it, Rebecca. I don't want a podcast.
It would have been funny if we
would've.
had a little Christmas festivity. Anyway, happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
It's that time. This episode is going out at that time between Christmas and the New Year where everything gets a little
blurry and you're very hungover and you don't know what day it is and you're still eating all those
you have
celebrations.
A bit of a flu.
Yeah.
You've had too many turkey sandwiches.
You've done things that you're like, I'm so embarrassed. Don't let me leave the house till next year. I'm literally going off the drink in January. Like,
Christmas season, especially as two Irish girlies, like obviously everyone celebrates the holidays differently. But a big part of Irish culture at Christmas. I'll never forget when I came home for Christmas when I was dating Vinny. He's Brazilian. And I was like, I was out from like the 16th of December.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, it's Christmas. And he was like, Rebecca, Christmas, because in Brazil it's New Year's is
yeah,
their
of
thing.
course.
And he was like, Rebecca, Christmas is the 25th. Like, he was like, you've
Yeah.
been celebrating for a week now.
Yeah. That's how we do it though, isn't it?
That's how we do.
And a lot of our listeners are actually down under listening to this episode, putting a shrimp on the barbie. So
Christmas in Straya.
Yeah, on Straya.
I never did it. I always came
You're
home.
going to be doing it in Thailand now.
This year,
Will you be in Thailand right
I cried
now?
in my Vlogmas this morning talking about
that you're going to be gone.
It was bound to happen. The first year in on my 29 years on this earth.
This is your first time away from home?
With all the countries, this is the first time.
Oh.
I've been in Brazil, I've been in Sydney,
Yeah.
Dubai, but always home for Christmas.
I know.
And then the 1 year I'm here, I'm leaving.
I know.
But no,
That's so you, isn't it?
So
Actually? That is
that's
so
me
you.
coded. Like, comes home from Sydney, comes home from Spain, comes home
Literally.
from Brazil during a global pandemic, only to isolate. I came home from Brazil
Yeah.
because I was like, will I stay, will I go? And then I was like, oh, it was Christmas 2020. And we were under the impression, because I came home early December because I had to isolate, and we were under the impression that everything would be open for Christmas.
And it wasn't.
But they
last minute. It was on like Christmas Eve.
They
wasn't
opened
it?
everything so early that by the time Christmas came, so I was like, oh, I have to be home. Like, I'm going to miss it. Came home, did my isolation. Came out of isolation.
Lockdown, yeah, I remember it.
Lockdown. We went for a 90-minute meal. It was me, Una and Laura, so there was only 3 of us, I think. And we ended up, the Mall in town was doing like the takeaway.
I love the Mall on
pints.
Yeah.
The Grand had that little hatch open
yeah.
and was doing takeaway pints and drinks.
Yeah.
So we were just standing outside. There was like a small group of us, and I was like, this is what I left Brazil for.
Do you remember the Mall used to be unreal on Christmas Eve? Everyone used to go in. It'd be like so busy. It's not really anymore.
So, the Mall Christmas Eve.
It used to be so good. The whole town would be inside it.
The Mall Christmas Eve and the Mall, like the 23rd.
23rd.
Like, you'd start there.
Like, literally, so the 23rd will have passed by now, but the 23rd in Tralee is the biggest night in the entire year. I think we've said this on the podcast before. Like, it is the one night of the year, like, where you will never see those crowds in the town for the rest of the year again. Like, it is so busy.
It's like the
everyone's
Rose
home
of
for
Tralee.
Christmas. It is. It's so busy. But yeah, it's crazy on the 23rd. Like, it's so hectic.
The 23rd, there were so many years where, like, the 23rd, like, it's the anxiety, the excitement feeling.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I don't know who I'm gonna see.
I think I just missed you last year when I was leaving Molly J's and you were coming in.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm going by. Like, I was like, it's sick inside there. And you were like, oh no, how long? I was like,
That's
no, they're
'cause
not serving anyone alcohol. It's so busy.
Yeah, no, it was, last year was crazy. I remember one year, the 23rd.
Are you like contemplating
whether or not to tell the story? Fuck it.
Okay.
1 year. So speaking of seeing exes at Christmas, one of my exes was away coming home for Christmas, and I knew he was home, but I hadn't seen him.
Yeah.
This is when we were still talking, and it
Yeah.
was the 23rd. I'll never forget. I was with Alan Crean, and he was like, "You're not," like everyone knew. And everyone's like, you're not doing well, are you? And I was like, he's just gonna, and I'm just gonna, and it's just gonna.
Yeah.
And I actually felt sick, and we went and got Jaeger bombs, like everything. I had so many Jaeger bombs, like the shots, the nerves to like, and then you see someone and it's
I don't have that, thank God.
Have you ever had that?
I've never had that yet. Neither will I either.
I had it a few years in a row.
No, I haven't had it, and I don't plan on having it anytime soon, thank God.
And then I woke up in his house Christmas Eve.
No, I actually saved one of the girls. I did 2 rescue missions on Christmas Eve. I was like leaving the house, and my mom was like, "Where are you going?" Because like our family tend to stay together Christmas Eve. And I was like, "Sorry, I need to get X from she stayed over in some guy's house.
I need to get one of the girls from a house."
And Mom goes, "Oh, go get her." Dropped her one back. Everything. Next minute, one of the girls Snapchat, "Oh my God, how did I end up here?" And I was walking out to the car. Mom was like, "Oh, does she need another lift?" I said, "This is another one, Mom." And I told my mom who it was. And Mom said, "Jesus Christ, they're dead right." Off I went there to
that's
get them.
the issue with the 23rd.
No,
like, do see an ex on a 20... Because you're not going to have a one-night stand on the 23rd.
No.
Unless...
Well, actually...
We're not judging.
Actually, one of them was
a one-night
stand, but the other one wasn't. But the one that was... like had to like hop out the back window, so his mother didn't catch that she was in the house, and her like belt got caught when she was hanging out, and she just had to like rip herself because the mother was coming in the front door. It was like a straight wall. The mother would have been able to see her at the end of the thing, so she had to like hop out and like rip the thing, and she got in the car and she was like, "Go, go, go." The mother saw my car outside. She was like looking in the thing when I was thinking. I was like, because I parked outside the house, I didn't go in the drive. She's like looking at me saying, "Who's parked up there? You're one-legged it. Makeup, eyelashes still on from the night before."
It's such... If you've had the experience, you know the feeling. Or, I think there's 2 people in this world.
Yeah.
The driver collecting.
I'm always the driver.
Or the person waking up. And like, I didn't want to leave because I was like, "Oh my God, we're back in love."
Yeah.
You know? And then my mom ringing me being like, "Where are you? Get home." I was like, I ended up in... I think I could have used actually your house as my pseudo.
Did everybody use our house?
We all went to Connor Burns, like I went with Gavin, and we all...
But this is the good thing about my house. Everyone's always like, "Sorry, I went back to me because we have this shed where we go drinking."
I'm pretty sure I used your house.
Everyone always uses. They're like, "Sorry, I ended back in Neve Burns' house. I'll get a lift soon," and it's always me who collects anyway. So it like backs their story. Like it was so funny. I collected the second girl. Then she was so hungover. I goes, "Do you want me to take you to McDonald's?" And she was like, "Please." So she was like getting out of the car, like her heels in her hand, walking barefoot, and like McNuggets and everything in the.
And then you go home, like your parent, like mom's like, "Oh, will you help me?" But everyone knows all I want to do is have a shower and get ready, turn around for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, 100%.
So you're doing a quick turnaround, meeting Gavin, walking into town. Oh,
so funny.
The Christmas memories.
I've never had that.
You've never
had that like experience. Watch now, it'll be January. And I'll be like, "Guys."
it's so, if it goes right, the Christmas whirlwind romance of it all.
It's pure like one of those Hallmark movies.
I lived in a Hallmark movie multiple years in a row.
Do you ever see them and they're so dramatic? It's like, "Hey, haven't seen you around here in a while."
It was literally that, and it was literally like you knew. But it wasn't said. It was like this unspoken thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and you see them at the bar and you don't know whether to say hi, but then you don't want to not say hi, but then you don't want to be the one catching their eye, and you want them to...
No, I haven't.
And everyone's at the same bar going for the same drink, and like, there's only so much space.
I don't have that at all because I'm not like... As everybody knows by now, and I'm an avoidant, so I don't even let me get in my feels if I see someone that's an ex of mine. I'd just be like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And then I'd be fine. Like, doesn't knock me on my stilts at all. Like, even the fact that it's Christmas doesn't emphasize it in the room, just purely based off the fact of I'm a pure avoidant, number one, and number two, I hate Christmas, so it makes no difference to me whatsoever. Like, I don't get swept up into the magic of Christmas because I'm the Grinch, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't knock me at all. But now I feel like I'm jinxing myself because everything we say in this fucking podcast always happens.
I'm going to be away. I'm not going to bump into anyone.
I'll be like FaceTiming you and you'll be like, "Oh shit." And I'll be like, "Rebecca."
No, like, I can even feel the feeling in my body. I can see, I'm like reliving the movie memory.
I
It
mean,
actually,
what a time.
and you know what? If it goes well and it's the romance of it all, it's so fun. But when it's like dead and gone, dead in the water.
Yeah.
And everyone, because it's in a small town as well,
Everyone
everyone's
knows.
like, oh my god, I saw.
Yeah, or I
was
saw so
talking
and so. Yeah, it's so great. Isn't that mad that like you'll always be associated with your ex from like 5 or 6
Especially in
years
a
ago?
small town, like everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh, I was talking to blank, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's great. Everyone has seen him except me. But it got to the part in the night where it was like, the only way we're gonna enjoy it is if we go get Jaeger bombs and like get too drunk. But
See,
also
I-
it's too late.
I just don't understand in your head there why at any given point you think that it's a logical, sound decision to get a fucking Jaeger bomb. Like, it is
Oh, my
never-
friends are such Jaeger bomb
I
people.
hate Jaeger bombs.
My
I've had one
friends-
since I was like a teenager, I think.
Oh, at Jaeger bombs, the Jaeger bomb has just come out.
You're just a tequila girl though, I don't know.
I'm a tequila girl now, but all my friends, like, there will be around Jaeger bombs and you will drink it.
Oh my god, I wonder what tequila you're going to get over in Thailand.
Oh, I'm scared of actually thinking about that.
I actually need to get a good bottle of tequila for home.
I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm not used to. The last time I was in Thailand, it was 2019, and I'm not used to alcohol like that, like the buckets,
Yeah.
like that. Neve.
Well, you don't need to get a bucket, do you? You're like,
They're
"Oh,
like-
Thailand."
They're like €3 or €4. It's a bucket of alcohol.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that they put drugs in the ice and that's why you get so fucked up.
It depends on the bucket men. Honestly, you make friends. You know the stalls, but also it depends on the island.
Okay.
Like the full moon part. You just have to be careful that you don't go to a dodgy bucket seller.
Yeah. I was like overstimulated last year by the night of the 23rd that I literally was like, I need to like leave. So I think it was like me, Corny and Aisling went back to the shed and we're like, oh my god, we drank so much Prosecco because my mom like topped up the house. Obviously Abby, shout out to Abby, I know she listens to this podcast every day, it comes out, love you so much. She was coming home for Christmas. She was actually out with us that night, but her and Connor went home earlier than us, although we went home early. But I was like, the night is still young.
Absolutely.
Went straight to the shed I was talking about, and I remember I like opened the fridge, and instead of going in, because like anyone who's been to my house, Rebecca can attest to this, my dogs do not stop barking.
Yeah.
So I was like, get them in the shed, fuck it, it's grand. We have pint glasses in there. We'll be fine. So what I was doing instead of getting Prosecco glasses is I was topping everyone's Prosecco up in a pint glass. So everyone was getting like a half. Only
Pints of
Aoife was
Prosecco.
there, I think, for the start of it, but she was smart. She left earlier. So because we went home around 9. So I was like, the night's still young, like let's drink a bit more in the shed.
Was it only 9?
Yeah, it was 9 when I left. So Connor and
You
Abby
have
would
to
have
go
left
into
at like
town
8.
so early.
Yes, they were in earlier. And like we'd gone in, I'd say we were only there an hour, so we were there really early. And Aoife was smart enough to go home early as well. And what's it called? Or did they all leave the same time? I don't think we actually stayed that late, so they all got the one lift out. Aisling stayed with me. And anyway, drinking the Prosecco, and the Prosecco was like half a pint, like full. It was so large. It was such a large glass. Anyway, woke up the next morning, fear God instilled in me, because I said, I'm after drinking so much Prosecco. I left town because I was overstimulated, so that anxiety was still harbouring in my body. Went home and I walked downstairs. I don't know why I always have this fear of my parents when I'm drunk, like, or hungover. And my parents are always like so like sound about it. Like they know that we're out there drinking, like, you know.
Yeah.
And Mom said, you left the fridge and the freezer open in the shed. All the Christmas fruit had defrosted. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And she said, I had to make a last run to Lidl today. You drank all the Prosecco. I was like, no.
I'm so sorry, Mom.
I was like, this is so scary. So then anyway, I was like, I'm not drinking anyway for the rest of Christmas. But every year, and touch black, I don't this year, I always end up in South Dock at Christmas. The last 4 years in a row I've been in South Dock, and I had to go to South Dock because I had a chest
Christmas
infection.
Eve.
So Christmas Day 2 of the years, St. Stephen's Day 1 of the years, and the other year was Christmas Eve.
No wonder you're the Grinch if you're ending up in South Dock.
I know, it's like, I don't know what, it's always, and they're always completely different things. 1 year is because I had a really bad reaction to the 3rd vaccine. 1 year was because I drank a load of gin. That was the very first year. The 2nd year was because I had a sinus infection, and the 4th year was because I had a chest infection.
Jesus.
Yeah,
And
so-
this year it's not happening.
And it's not happening this year because like I can't. But anyway, I don't drink what I used to like anymore at all. So it's
Either
fine.
do I, and that's why I'm for
So
Thailand,
funny. Because we're going to Winter Wonderland. I'll have been and left.
yes.
You'll probably see the footage I'll have taken by then. But the girls were like, oh, you know, like they do like mulled wine and stuff. I was like, girls, one mulled wine and I'm on the floor. Like I literally don't drink anymore. Like I'm gonna be fucked. So
I
I'm
actually
so excited.
don't remember the last time I drank. When's the last time you drank? I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you.
I feel like
I
Was
need.
it our
I feel
night
like I
out?
need to get my tolerance up pre-Thailand.
I feel like it was no. So did
Oh
we,
yeah, our night out.
either our night out or the
Did
night
we
I went
still
for
go
dinner
out?
with Aoife. I don't know which one was first, yours or hers.
I
If it
don't
was
remember.
Aoife, that was the last time I went proper drinking.
Halloween.
Yeah, but okay, maybe me and Aoife went for dinner in November.
Maybe you did. No,
No, we didn't. We went before, so it was Halloween was the last time. Because remember the thing I did that night, and I was like, God, the week before. It was the week before I was with Aoife. Oh, God.
yeah, no, do you know what, actually?
Actually, what am I on about? I'm going drinking this weekend. I'm going to the Christmas market.
Yeah, that's what I
Sorry,
mean.
guys, we're pre-recording.
But
this
you
so
haven't, we haven't up until now.
Up until now, yeah, no, I haven't.
I haven't. And do you know what,
I'm nervous.
I was quite scared that I was going to send a drunk text.
Sorry,
when
I'm lying. Thanksgiving Day. I got really
but you
drunk
were
in
in
Thanksgiving.
America.
Yeah, I got really drunk as well. We were playing Jack in the Box TV. It was so
yeah,
good.
I totally forgot. So that's what... Just totally forgot the fact that you were literally just in America.
Literally just in America.
I was afraid I was going to send a drunk text when I was in Thailand, so I'm really happy that that isn't.
I know, it's not a thing.
Because it would have
By
happened.
the time this comes out, I'd love to know what the update in that situation was.
Because, do you know what? Me and Neve have realised something about this podcast.
Guys, and I swear to God, we should make a list and tell them things we've said and what's happened after we've said it. It's like we foreshadow.
If we say something on this podcast,
Yeah.
it is happening.
That's
or
why
it
I'm
brings
petrified.
things into... Like
Reality.
last week we were actually going to name not last week's week, the episode that's called Block Him.
Yeah.
I wanted to name it
Our
in
22.
a moment of madness because
Yeah.
I'm really happy I didn't know. But I wanted to name it
Sometimes I'm
our,
right. Sometimes.
our 2023 dating wrap, because my brain just goes to content. Like my brain
Yeah.
will sacrifice all of my personal
Yeah, privacy for that.
It's privacy.
I'm like,
So we were gonna
She's
call
like,
it.
I think we should. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So you were saying that, so I was like, let's just call it blocking.
We were gonna call it our 23 dating wrapped. That episode went out 2 days ago? Yesterday.
It'll be 3 weeks by the time they hear this.
Yeah, but when we're recording, it went out
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, it went out yesterday.
Before the episode went out, one of the men on the dating wrap called me out of
Called
nowhere,
her.
out of the blue,
Yeah. Out of the blue.
like an hour. It was really nice, but like an
I'm
hour.
not gonna name them, but the one that I wanted to be number one rang her out of the blue.
Yeah. So and then, in a crazy turn of events, and I can edit this out because this is like 3 weeks time, so we'll see
Yeah.
how it transpires. One of the ones who was
The one I said block him about.
the one Neve was telling me to block,
Text her or reply to her story.
and we haven't talked in over a month.
Like, I'm so... I actually
out
have a
of
tickle in my belly.
nowhere.
I have a tickle in my belly about that. I don't know why. I feel like something big's going to happen. I don't know. We want to do our what we didn't expect in 2023 bingo cards.
yes.
Because I feel like you'll know.
So we're
yours as
playing
well.
a game.
Yeah.
We have a game, and because it's coming up to the new year, as people are watching this, we're reflecting on our 2023.
Yes.
And I was thinking, when I came up with this idea, I was thinking of my January 2023
Yeah.
self. And thinking back, and if I was speaking to her,
Yeah.
all of the things that have happened throughout this year
Yeah.
that I just would have never seen on my 2023
Bingo.
bingo card.
Same.
So we're going to give you random things that we have not seen with no context.
No context.
So just random. So what would you have not? Neve has a list. I don't,
Okay.
but I'll be able to.
They're not long, but I know it'll get longer when we're talking because I'll be like, me too.
Yeah, we'll go back and forth.
The first one is that I would go on a man ban. I didn't expect that in 2023. I went on such a man ban this year.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first one that I thought.
Because it was just out of.
Because the January before I was not on a man ban at all, so I just would not have expected my thinking to have shifted.
That much?
Yeah.
Like if you told me of 2023,
Yeah.
January, you have that.
Oh, January of 2022 had a long roster as well. But like, had you told me of 2023 that she was actually going to be in a man band for months, that like, I wouldn't have believed it.
Oh.
What about you?
Okay, my first one will be
That you'd end your man band, I
that I
I wish we could say one. I wish we could say one of them, but we can't.
I didn't know the word is in my head.
I know.
The word.
I feel like I can pick it up. Like they're both so chaotic. Like, oh.
I think.
Oh.
Wait, I had examples written in my note.
Is it the ones you can't say? Definitely.
No, okay, one of my things that I would have, if you told me that I would have done this, I would have been like, bitch, how?
Yeah.
I edited a video for the
I would say I would not have expected my 2023 bingo card that I would have lived at home for the full year. Like,
no, same.
did not expect that in the slightest.
If you told me that I was still
in
here.
County Kerry at 27 years old for a full year, no, I would not have believed you, like, at all.
29. Just putting it out there.
Please, I hope I'm not.
Like, I thought I would be in Australia by now.
Yeah,
But
thought
if
I'd
I
gone to back
did
to
go to
Manchester.
Australia, when I initially planned April,
Yeah,
none of this bingo card would even be here.
I agree. Same with me. If I had gone back to Manchester, and what's going to happen in 2024 wouldn't.
Oh,
I
no.
said,
Go on.
oh yeah, sorry, is it your
No, you're fine.
that we would have started this podcast.
Oh my god,
That wouldn't have been on my 2023 bingo card.
And that we'd be like 20 whatever episodes deep.
And not in the slightest. And that I'd be so comfortable, like, in front of the camera by the end of the year. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
So proud of you. I suppose
so
on
proud of
that
us.
list, I would not have put on my 2023 bingo card that we would have got such good friends.
Genuine.
At all.
Like, I would have been like, not that I would have been like, what?
Yeah, but I would have been like, no way. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
No way.
No way.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Look at us.
What else? I wouldn't have put on my bingo card that I would have caught a flight for a man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm saying on that.
Yeah, I suppose I can't, because I would expect myself to catch a flight from man.
Catch flights, not feelings.
I would have known that would have been part of it this year, but I think my next one would be that I didn't open that second business that I wanted to open.
Yes, oh my god.
So, because if I'd opened that, I wouldn't be able to travel next year.
Also, how stressed would you be right
Yeah,
now?
can you imagine how stressed I am now?
No.
So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that
But
would,
life
because I
takes
moved home
turns.
to do that. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but the narrative, like this is what I mean. Joe, when people are like, "What's your 5-year plan?"
Yeah,
I hate that question because it's like,
yeah.
how am I supposed to know?
How am I supposed to know what I'm doing?
I have a general direction of where I want to go, but I think sometimes if you get too specific with what you want to do, you don't allow spontaneity to come in.
Yeah, I agree.
Or something better,
I agree.
you know?
Yeah. What about you?
Another thing on my bit that I would have got a breakup text after like 2 weeks of texting someone.
I don't think anybody would expect that. So yeah,
That might have been, this might be cut out, but
I didn't think that. Now, it wasn't on my 2023 bingo card that I would go to America twice. I knew I was going once, but I didn't know I was actually going to go twice in 1 year,
yeah.
which was good. That I actually took annual leave as well, is because, like, if anyone who knows me, for the last 2 years prior, I wouldn't have taken any annual leave. I would have just done like a 3-day like long weekend kind of a thing,
Yeah,
but
you
not
took
actually
holidays.
taken. I took holidays this year, and I really put boundaries in place of like not doing work when I was on thing.
And that
And I heard that on
inspired me.
yeah, I heard it on the thing today. I was like, oh, that's so
You
cute.
gave me such a brainwave because I was like,
Because I would be like you usually. I'd usually be like, oh, it's fine, I'll just work. Like,
yeah, because I was like, in my head, I was like, but sure, all she should do is listen to the podcast in Boston. And then I was like,
Yeah.
Rebecca, your thinking is wrong
But
here.
that's where
Her
I used
thinking
to
is
be.
very right.
That's the way I used to be. And then I found that my stress was getting more and more. And like, because you think the exact same,
Yeah.
like you've the same work ethic as me.
Like,
Like,
just don't
you
stop.
just need to like park it sometimes and be like, I need to take a break. So I was
Yeah.
glad to hear that you're going to do that in Thailand as well. Because I was like, she needs to.
Yeah, because basically when Neve was in Boston, we took the season break.
Yeah.
But it actually worked out in our favour break.
Way more, because
we would
wouldn't
not have been able to record.
No, we wouldn't have been able to. When I came back, it was
No.
too quick. Like, it was
It,
too
wa-
tight.
it was too quick. So basically the podcast was edited and I put it on YouTube, and I was like, oh, can you give it a listen? And he was like, actually, I'm, like you said about, it was so good. It literally, I was like, you were like, oh, I'm away, like, I don't want to be thinking about the podcast, like, I don't even want it to enter my brain.
Yeah, I need a complete shutdown.
And that's the only way we can shut down our brain, like, because I'm the exact same. So then when she said that, I was like,
and you know what? I'm so glad. I feel like everything happened for a reason, because I had 2 hours that morning, and then that window left because it took too long to export. So I was like, okay, well, that window's gone, and look, I need to be like, now I'm put my foot down and be present, because I'm with my friends, and I travelled 6 hours to see them. And I was like, before I would have been like, sorry guys, I need to go do this, or I'll look at my emails. And like, I was like, no, I really need to put my foot down on this, like, because I do, like, this year, it was one of my like resolutions for the new year that I would do that, and I would actually take time off and let my brain rest. So I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, I was like, the only time I let myself do that this year fully was
yeah.
I'm gonna cut that out.
Oh yeah, you can.
When
just
I was in blank.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole time.
And maybe that's why you have such a good association, because your brain was allowed to relax and it made you feel better. Did you see that association too?
And he literally said to me, he was like, why aren't you sharing, like, you're here in, like, you know, and it was like my brain knew, like, I'd be back, because I wasn't in my, like, tourist, so he was like, you're not, he was like, do you not take pictures or, and I was like, no, I do, but I was like, I'm really enjoying, like, actually being in the present right now with you.
Oh.
What else would I have not put on my bingo card
of 2023?
Oh, do you know what?
That I actually would have cut drink out massively was another one.
Yeah.
Because like in I suppose I got sober curious around October 2022, but I didn't like really implement it properly until like January or so. Like I still drink the odd time, but like nowhere near as what I used to.
Yeah.
Oh, and the fact that I went back to the gym and I stayed consistent with it.
I love that for you. Yeah. You're in your workout era.
I truly am. But I have been like since like March, I think. Like I went in January and then I just continued it on.
That's fantastic.
Took a break in April and then went back.
Working out is such a good like mental.
And when I realised that I could feel the endorphins, I was like, this is what I need to like relax my body.
Yeah.
I suppose reading the amount of books I've read this year as well.
You read a lot of books.
Nearly 50.
What else did I do that I just would be like, girl, you what?
You sent out.
Oh, do you know what? I wouldn't have put on my bingo card that I would have downloaded a dating app.
True, actually.
I'm still, I don't use dating apps. Like, I'm not using it at the moment.
I haven't either. I've mine set to Truly, actually. It's so funny that I asked it, because I was like, who the fuck, where are all these coming from?
Gonna see people who are home for Christmas.
Yeah. I actually didn't even think of that. I just, I accidentally sent it because mine was still over in Boston. And
yeah, you just inspired me to just kind of download it to, I have very mixed feelings about dating apps, as I've said multiple times on this podcast. And the way it makes our brain, I think in like 10 or 15 years or even 5 years, there's going to be such a big study on how dating apps altered people's perception of people and choice and all that kind of stuff, and how like negative it is. Because did you see some people's dating raps for 2023? They went on like
I just see
40 first dates, and I'm not judging if you're out here in your dating era.
I feel like people who date that much though are looking for relationships, because you're actively dating, like actively looking for someone.
But I get that, but it's like, is that the way you find someone though?
No.
Because
but Rebecca, we can't say anything, because when we travel next year, we will be on those apps.
I know, but I don't think...
Yeah.
I'm very... Like, how can... I've said it before, you can't let yourself get excited about someone if you're like, oh, well, there was one person last week, there's another person next week.
Yeah, so true.
Like, I think it subconsciously teaches you to treat people like...
Their options.
Like they're toys.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair at all.
Because I think, you know, always there's going to be one person. It's a lot of times in dating, there's one person who thinks it went better than the other, you know? And I just think I think psychologically to a person, it just can't be... Because no one... Like, if you think about history, there's never been a time in history where people have been able to...
actively like choose
do that.
Yeah, I know.
Like find that many people
in once. I know. This is the whole problem with like, you know, what is it? Globalization and digital world. But that's
Yeah.
a story for another day.
I like it though, because like you meet people you would have that would. I think if you use it, obviously I'm biased because I think the way I use it.
You know,
is
you're
the best
answering
way.
this in such a like philosophical way that you're answering it with another question, which is interesting.
Well,
It just goes to show you're thinking. I love when I listen to people so much and where their train of thoughts go. You think exactly like one of my friends thought. He literally will have a question, go into like facts and things about it, and come out the side with another question, and that's pure philosophy.
Yeah, well, I just think I'm a Virgo moon, so I analyze my feelings as I'm talking. But obviously, the way I use it is so biased.
Yeah.
And I think the way I use it is the best.
Yeah.
Because I have had a few instances since I've downloaded dating apps where one person in particular, like, I'm so happy he's in my life now.
Yeah. So sorry, this is
And I
actually
would have
bringing
never-
me on to another thing, which is a nice segue.
Yeah.
That string theory thing, though. Like,
Yes.
so even with it, even if you're dealing with people as options, like, I genuinely believe with the string theory that, like,
Yeah.
if they're going to be in your life, they're going to show up one way or another. And so
Yes.
maybe the dating app is how you're supposed to.
Well, and
Do you get
sorry, I'm getting excited. I had a birth chart reading, and because of my placements in my birth chart,
Yeah.
the astrologer said to me, she was like, it's very likely that you will meet someone because of your online presence. She was like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a dating app, but they will, before they engage with you in real life, they will be drawn to your
you.
online because of the placements in my thing. So obviously not everyone's like that, but I do definitely believe in string theory, and I think anyone who comes into my life,
Yeah.
if they stay there, they were gonna
They were
come in.
supposed to.
It's the universe like setting it up.
That's so crazy.
But
But
I
they
just-
say, you know, that
yeah.
like by a certain age you've already met the person you're going to marry. Isn't that crazy?
I think that was, but see, I think,
But see, you traveled so much since you were young, so you actually could have possibly already met the person that.
But
like,
also-
so think about like the two key players now that you're thinking of, like that
yeah,
have
I
really
know,
come
I
from
love
the
how you know
last-
exactly what I'm thinking about.
So those two key players, like, right, there could still be some string connecting you, like back when you were in Australia or Thailand. There might be some connection somehow. You mightn't have known that
Yeah.
you were in this. Do you ever see those photos and they're in the background? Of
Oh
the
my god,
thing? Or the clothes
well,
thing.
you don't
Yeah,
know
no,
me,
So
but
this is
I
what I'm
know
talking
you.
about.
Yeah.
Like, so you're thinking, okay, well, I didn't meet them by a certain age, but you don't know that.
Or
You
that there's
genuinely don't
some
know
weird connection.
that there's some connection to them somehow. Isn't that strange?
Do you know what, actually, when I met Vinny, he has a picture of him as a child in this photo frame.
Yeah.
Like a small, do you know my
Yeah.
picture of me
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
child
yeah.
in my photo frame?
Yeah.
He has one of him around the same age in a
Crazy.
small, that he brings everywhere with him, and I
Yeah.
bring that one everywhere with me.
Isn't that so
And it was just like a
weird?
little, but yeah, no, yeah.
Something like that happened to me, and I can't even remember it off the top of my head, but I remember
I love that trend.
I remember ages ago being like, oh my god, what the fuck? And it was with somebody I was actually like going out with, and I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy, the weird string theory thing that happened.
And the thing of like, if there was someone in your life heavily,
Yeah.
and then it ended, and you just have not crossed
Yeah.
paths since.
Do you know what, when I saw that, that was such confirmation that
Yeah.
like, that I always think, you know, sometimes you pray for somebody to come back into your life, but like, sometimes they're just not your person. As much as you want to try force that mold, they're not the person for you. And we saw this TikTok, and it was like, if they're taken out of your life, then they're not meant for you. So maybe have this attitude going into the new year that like, if they're taken out and you haven't heard from them, you haven't seen them, nothing.
like nothing. It's like they
Yeah.
never existed.
They never existed.
Because I have two situations like that.
I have one.
Like I've never, and there's never been a thing of like bumping in or there's just nothing.
Yeah.
Just nothing. Because I think, I'm a big believer in past lives anyway. And I do think, you know, your soul is here to
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
different souls.
Do you
and
hear about that
different
egg
people.
theory? Okay, so this egg theory is that like you are the only conscious person that's alive. So everyone else that's around you, you've made up, right? Have you seen this?
No, but I felt like this from a very young
So
age.
the egg theory is that
Main
everyone in
character.
your life, right, is actually like you've made them up, but when you pass on, you reincarnate into their body, so you have to live 1 billion lives or however many billion lives until like you ascend and you're like this whole conscious being and you have your own universe. Isn't that crazy?
I have heard of that theory,
Yeah.
but not called the egg theory. But yeah, that's like in all the past life books I've read, you come here every time to learn. You decide your parents, you decide your birth chart, you decide your name, you decide the bad thing. Like your soul decides what you go through so that you learn certain lessons. Now, obviously, free will comes into it.
Yeah, of course.
So sometimes people don't learn those lessons,
go back again.
and they don't ascend, so they go back
and do it again.
But yeah, the book is so interesting. It shows like how if someone was, like say for example, someone who was a bad person, they came here to learn compassion.
That's crazy.
But they didn't do it.
They didn't do it. Like
so. Or like someone who was a king in their last lifetime and had all the riches, maybe in the past life before that they might have been like very, very poor. Or they might have had all the riches and had this like surfer level life, but they'll come back next time. And it's very deep and it's very complex, but it's a very interesting way to look at life and look at the reason that you're here.
What are your resolutions for the new year?
Ooh, what are my New Year's resolutions? I haven't even thought. I don't know.
Well, I don't really believe in them, but if you were to, what would you hope out of 2024?
I think 2024, I think the last 3 years for me have been filled with a lot of deep, transformative life lessons about
Are you
who
going
I
through your
am.
Saturn return?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm balls deep.
She
balls deep in my Saturn return. Like it goes exact in like January or February, so it's like
that's crazy.
It's very much so. I'm very much so Saturn return, and yeah, I just think the lessons that I have learned are gonna take me to my next location. But I think my main resolution would be to stay as...
Sorry, I look at you so much, I'm getting a crick in my neck
No, it's
again.
fine.
I did this last week, so I'm just going to look at you guys.
My resolution would be to stay as open-minded and as open to experiences. And even more so, because I feel like over the last few years I've been very much so in a bubble in Ireland, especially, and I think my soul is like craving adventure again. And I think it's very much so I think Thailand's going to be the catalyst to a whole new adventure, but I think something that I did in September really reignited that for me. And I just want to make sure that I always approach life with the thing of like, I'm just here to experience it, you know? And I'm here to have these experiences, whether they're good, whether they're bad. Everything is teaching me something, and, you know, to relinquish control. So I don't know, is that a resolution? But I just kind of talked out my arse there. But
I feel like 2024 is going to be full of change for me, because I think I've been very comfortable over the last few years.
Because you're about to go into,
Am I going into my Saturn return next year?
No. Yours for you won't be till you're like my age.
Yeah, but I'm 28 in March.
Yeah, no. Yours
really?
is... Yeah, because you've Saturn
I feel like I've already started, and I'll be honest
you've
with
Saturn
you.
in Aries.
Yeah, but
No, but that's because you're going through your nodal return. So before your Saturn return, you've your nodal return. So
I feel like mentally at the moment I'm going through such a massive change. I think I've seen it over the last year, but that's why I feel like I'm in my Saturn one, even though I'm not, because I feel like I've done more change in the last year than I've probably ever done, and for the better. But I also feel like, you know, I know that 2024 is going to be full of change because I'm too comfortable in my life at the moment, and I could live like this for the rest of my life and live very comfortably, but I feel like my body is craving change.
Yes.
And it's not purely based off of location. It's like loads of different factors. Like, you know, I feel like as a person, I'm like shedding the skin on what I used to be. And, you know, that doesn't mean that 2024 I'm going to be any better of a person. It just means I'm going to go through a period of change. And I feel like, you know, giving yourself this space to change yourself and change, you know, who you are, what you're about, what you do, what you're interested in is like something that we should be able to do in a new year. So hopefully we'll have that, but we'll obviously still have this podcast.
Well, this podcast is not good. 2024 is the year this podcast gets monetized.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there. We're planning on.
We were supposed to tell them in this episode.
We are planning on doing a bonus subscription based situation.
Because we delete a lot of things from the episode we want to leave in, but
the amount that we cut
also like because of my job, like we can't have a lot of things on the internet that aren't basically my digital footprint, because I work in such corporate jobs, can't be as, you know, open as what perhaps we'd like it to be. So we are going to do a subscription based where we'll put all of the juicy stuff behind the paywall. Now the episodes will still be really good, but I'll try to tell you as much as I can,
but we'll go into more depth
and detail
about things in the subscription.
And it won't be expensive.
It won't be expensive. It won't be too cheap so that, you know, anyone and everyone will access it. But it's not going to be expensive,
and it's also to support us. Like if you're enjoying
a girly, and we're gonna make it like I want to have a lot of things in place for the subscription so that there's a lot of benefits. Maybe episodes at like midnight the night before, you know,
100%.
Early access to episodes,
extra episodes,
like merch,
just fun things.
So I think 2024, because we're taking this podcast seriously, and
internationally, really,
we're taking a worldwide, baby. But I want to get to a place where it doesn't matter if you say something online, because this podcast
should be able to be put it behind a paywall though, because I do feel like I'll always be corporate, unfortunately, girlies. That's just what I like. She's a content creator, she loves it. I love being corporate. That's what I love. It's genuinely, it's the only thing that keeps me going. I love it, and I know everyone's like, what the fuck, who loves working in corporate? I like working in corporate, so You're a
corporate baddie.
I am a corporate baddie, and like I just want to keep it that is something that I genuinely enjoy doing. So I don't want to like risk something that I absolutely love with my whole heart. There's something I like doing, and I like doing this, but I love my job, so I don't want to.
We're just going to have to turn it into Pay Attention Limited, and you can just do all the corporate for that. And we can just aim on that. You can be the corporate baddie. Yeah.
So guys, thank you.
But until then.
Guys, thank you so much.
Hasta la vista.
Thank you so much
Happy New Year.
Thank you so much for spending the year with us, and we are so grateful for everything you've done for us.
We love you
so much. Happy New Year. See you next year, girls. Bye.
Ciao, Bella.